Well, here it is. The one thing that I thought I'd never actually make, because there is no practical use for it really right now, at least in these modern times. But I decided, hey, why not? I've seen a lot of other ones made out there, so I figured, I kind of have to do it, I guess. But this is the infamous ninjutsu water spider. Which, Anthony, if you happen to watch this and you know the actual Japanese name for this, I'd really appreciate any info on that you could give me, because calling it the water spider, I don't know, it just kind of annoys me. I would like to know the Japanese translation for it. So besides that, I got this out of Anthony's book, Book of the Ninja, or as most people know it as, the Bansen Shukai. And let me see if I can find it in here. There it is. So, I think I got pretty close. I followed the dimensions in here. That's one thing I love about this book. I mean, it actually gives you the dimensions, which, for people like me who like to make their own things, that just makes it so much easier. And the dimensions on this water spider were really good. When it comes to even how thick the wood was, which I got that down, the outside diameter, the inside diameter, I got that all nailed down pretty good. The actual hinges. My hinges are a little different, because I couldn't exactly 100% nail down how these were attached to this. I know how those work. I did a lot of research on Japanese carpentry and the type of hinges and latches they would use, and I understand how these hinges work and what they look like. Just how they were actually attached to this to make this work, that kind of threw me for a loop, so I kind of went with another design of latch. But everything on here is as accurate as possible. Nice piece of leather in the middle for a seat. Grommeted holes. I just used sisal rope, which is rot and mildew resistant. It's a natural rope. It says in the book a lot about leather rings attaching it and rope, and I just went with rope just because it was so much easier. But overall, I think it's like 2 Sheku and 6 Sun, maybe, something like that. Which I wish I wouldn't have left that at work. I did some mathematics on the Sheku and Sun and Bu and Ren, and surprisingly, it's pretty close to the American standard. I mean, I know a Sheku is like 11.93 inches, so it's pretty much a foot. And if you're worried about that 0.07, yeah, I wouldn't worry about that. That's minimal when you're coming to making stuff like this. Those dimensions are very, very small. I think 1 Sun was like 1 inch and 3/16, and the difference was only, I think, like 60 thou, which is about 1/16 of an inch. So that difference isn't very much. And then the Bu, I think, was 1/8 of an inch, and that was only actually 7 thou off, which is the thickness of about 2 human hairs, I think. So, surprisingly, the old Japanese standard of measurement is, you can relate it pretty close to English standard, or American standard, I would say. English standard, that's, hate saying English because English and American are 2 different things. So yeah, the American standard of measurement. But that's a whole nother ramble I can go on. But as you can see, when it's all hinged together, it's solid. It's it's not going anywhere. And the way it works is I have some thin metal straps. I use some nice brass screws to attach this to make it look nice. And all you have to do is you pull these out. Oh, it's not easy to do this with one hand. I have to put this down. Like so. Move this around so you guys can see that this will actually fully come apart. So you can actually fold this up and it does collapse for, I guess, easy travel. And then when you want to put it back together, you unfold everything, you start attaching the pieces together. I like to attach the two bottom and the two top together. Like so, and then you just insert your pins in. You know, like that. And then you're back to square one. And the way I did this was, let me take this apart. Let's see if I can get a better view. Is I took some, these are actually wire clamps. Got them at Menards for like 40 some cents a piece. It's pretty much a U-bolt. And I drilled 2 holes, and well, I drilled the holes smaller than the diameter of each one of the posts. So when I epoxy inside the holes and hammered these in there, these locked into the wood and the glue helped secure it. And these things are in there. I was actually surprised. I used Gorilla Glue, and man, that stuff can hold. So these aren't coming out probably ever. I probably have to cut these out. But I just did that all the way around. It's made out of oak, stained my normal. I'm gonna call it my Tengu stain. That's the stain I always use. But it's really nice. Unfortunately, I do live in Michigan, so right now it is cold as all hell. I think we're getting down to probably below 0 today. So there's no way I can actually go out and test this, and my bathtub is not that big. So hopefully maybe this summer I can test it out up north at my cabin on the river. But already just by looking at it, I can definitely see how it was used with sitting inside of there and using the flippers. You know, your legs don't go in between here because the dimensions, there's no way your legs are going to fit inside there. I mean, they could, but it's probably going to be pretty uncomfortable. I'm almost imagining that they would either sit on it with their legs on either side, or they would actually lay across it and kind of use it like a, almost like a boogie board or like a paddle board. And their legs would come off the back, and you would use the flippers like this and maybe hold on to the edges up there and kind of, lay on your chest. I almost imagine imagine that a little bit for the practical use. But flotation wise, I don't know how it's gonna float because, like I said, I haven't tested it. But just by doing calculations with how thick the oak wood is and how much I've used, it should support. It says up to 200 pounds, but we'll see. I did take an account for how much the steel weighed and everything, so we'll see how much weight it holds. I have no doubt that it'll hold me up, no problem. I weigh about 160, 170 maybe on a normal day. So I'll have to test it out this summer, but it was a fun build. I mean, I didn't expect to have this much fun doing it, trying to figure out how to get this radius, and these are all cut from separate pieces. As you can see, the wood grain, this one's going this way, that way, that way, that way. It wasn't cut from one solid piece. It was 4 separate pieces of oak that were traced out to form a perfect circle, which I had to make a pretty interesting jig to draw this out, which that was half the battle, was figuring all those measurements out and dimensions and making a big compass and laying these pieces out. Oh, it was a headache. I did it like 8 times before I finally got it right. So that's pretty much it. That's the water spider. Like I said, Anthony, if you're watching this, you could give me the Japanese translation. I'd appreciate that. But in upcoming news, I do have a Kama or a Kusarigama that I'm working on that I'm gonna put up on eBay. I don't really have that much. I've made a lot of stuff already that was in this book. You can see how dirty it's getting already just from me using it. It's been down in the workshop. It's been to a lot of different places with me. It's getting some good use. There's only about 3 or 4 more things in there that I really haven't made. So I'm going to try and get those done in the next week or so. There's a folding saw that I just kind of figured out how to do, and there's that extendable key and retractable key that I think I'm going to try and work on. And then like 1 or 2 more small little door latches or door stops, they're kind of like S's. So there's only a couple more things I really need to make. I am working on, starting today, I'm working on I guess, I don't want to call it a ninja outfit because that sounds dumb, but Hakama and the Kaihan, the Teko, all the clothing. I went and bought a bunch of fabric, and I'm gonna start laying those patterns out and sewing that up today. So, got a couple things going on. I'm really excited about this, the clothing though, because that's something that I've always wanted to do, and you can buy them online, but they're really expensive, and I kind of wanted a dark brown because I don't like the black. So that's going to be coming up, and hopefully once I get that done, I can show you guys all that, and maybe find a way to get some of these patterns out to you for the clothing, so that you guys can do it yourself. But I think that's it. I thought there was something else I was going to say. There probably was. Yeah. Fun. Water spider. Cool. Thanks for watching. Like I said, check out. Hopefully, by next weekend, I should have something up on eBay. I'll post a link to it if I can on my Facebook. It's going to be a Kusarigama with a training Kusarigama, and then maybe, Kusari Fundo with it, a matching one, or maybe just a Kusari Fundo with it. I don't know. I'll see how much time I have. But I'm gonna start the bidding off low, probably like $50, with free shipping in the U.S. And then we'll see how it goes from there. So it's early in the morning right now. I think it's like 7 o'clock. Wife woke me up. She had to work today, so I decided to stay up and get some of this stuff done. So I'm gonna go get some coffee. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed.